Today's episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN.
See, you might not know that what's on Netflix in your country is completely different from what someone in the UK or Japan has on theirs. Using ExpressVPN, I can control which country I want my Netflix to think that I'm in. ExpressVPN has over 90 countries to choose from, so every time I run out of stuff to watch, I just switch to another country to unlock their new shows.
So be smart, stop paying full price for streaming services and only getting to access a fraction of their content. Get your money's worth at expressvpn.com/advice. Don't forget to use our link so you can get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/advice. expressvpn.com/advice to learn more. Today's episode is brought to you by Flex.
Flex is innovating period care with products that are body safe, made for comfort, and made to keep you moving. The Flex disc is a one-time use menstrual disc that fits perfectly inside your body. And if you want to go zero waste, you can check out the Flex cup, which is a reusable cup made with a velvety soft material for a comfortable fit. Flex's products are worth the learning curve, and Flex has videos, diagrams, FAQs, and even live chat Flex experts on their website to help you along the way. Guys, I just got for the very first time my very first reusable Flex cup, and I have never tried one before. I will say there was a bit of a learning curve, but once I got it in there perfectly, I was good to go, and I loved it, and it was wonderful, and I didn't have to worry about packing tampons with me or leaving it in too long. The cleanup process was easy, and it ended up going really smooth, and it was my very first time, so I was very proud of myself.
So say goodbye to leaks, mess, and stress, and say hello to healthier periods for people and the planet with Flex. Go to flexfits.com/advice and use code ADVICE for 20% off Flex disc starter kits or 10% off your first Flex cup, plus free US shipping. That's code ADVICE at Flex, Flex, fits.com/advice. Today's episode is brought to you by Athena Club.
The Athena Club razor is expertly designed with the sharpest patented blades on the market. These are one-of-a-kind blades. They are enhanced with a revolutionary water-activated serum that has shea butter and hyaluronic acid for a skin-soothing shave with maximum hydration. In fact, the Athena Club razor is the only razor designed with hyaluronic acid. The best part of the whole thing is that the razor kit is only $9, which includes 2 5-blade razor heads, your choice of a razor handle color, which I went with blue. I think Taryn went with blue also.
I love the blue. It's like a baby blue.
It's like a powder blue, and it's very bathroom worthy.
Yes.
And the best part of the whole thing is it has this magnetic holder that Taryn and I cannot stop raving about. We've told everyone. I have held razors in my mouth while I try to reapply the
it ain't it.
shaving cream. That's not it. It's not it.
Stop using razors that under-deliver and switch to Athena Club. Sign up today and you'll get 20% off your first order. Just go to athenaclub.com and use promo code ADVICE. That's ATHENACLUB.com with promo code ADVICE for 20% off. Ash, I have a fun fact for you.
A fun fact. We haven't done a fun fact in a while.
Do you remember how I used to literally start every episode with a fun fact?
It was always a fun fact. What happened to that?
Corona. Did you know that just like the earth has earthquakes, the moon has moonquakes? For real.
Really?
Science.
Interesting.
Less common and less intense than the shakes that happen here. Moonquakes are believed to occur to tidal stresses connected to the distance between the earth and the moon.
Weird. I mean, that makes sense. It makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah. Like if you can go and walk on the moon and jump and hop on the moon, then you can, it's like a thing up in the air. So of course it also has earthquakes like Earth does. Because you can walk and hop on the earth as well.
If your kids need a science tutor.
I know it's been rough this year, but I volunteer as tribute. And I will get your kids through college.
Science.
I'm dead. That was funny, Ash. Thank you. I'm a funny person.
That was funny. Do you notice how I do that? Like when you say something funny, I'll be like, Ash, that was funny.
Taryn's like the most supportive friend, but in those instances, I don't think she realizes how how it's kind of not supportive because it's like, oh, well, that was funny, Ashley. And I'm like, what? So I'm not funny all the time?
No, but it's when I'm like impressed.
I know. But you'll go out of your way to tell me, and I'm like, that means I'm not funny all the other rest of the time.
I'll just laugh extra loud to like gas you up in that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Look, we just learned something new.
Problem solved. Gross. Friendship. I gave her a high five with my can.
Thanks.
Guys, first of all, welcome to Unsolicited Advice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Ashley.
Hi.
That's Taryn.
Hello.
This is an advice podcast where you guys send in your personal life stories, and we advise you on what we would do with those if we were in your shoes. Mm-hmm. It's like 5:00 p.m.
Yeah.
on a Friday night.
Yes.
Which doesn't that just sum up where we're all at right now?
Honestly, yes. we had all these plans to like
Friday night is the classic date night.
Oh,
and
is
here
date night?
Isn't Friday date night?
Sure. I mean,
totally
are
is.
Any nights date nights now?
I mean, some of us are still trying. You know,
girl.
Fridays are classic date nights, but here we are.
Yeah,
y'all are our dates.
You are our dates. We had plans to record early this morning. And then I love days where like both of us are like, nah, we got other stuff to do.
Always,
like, it was same page.
Not
for sure.
always, but 95% of the time, I feel like we're always on the same page.
I agree.
I woke up feeling like, not great. And then Taryn FaceTimed me and was like, hey, are we doing this right away or can we do it later? I was like, let's do it later. And I was like, you know what? You need to go hop on your bike, pedal it out.
Yeah.
Hydrate, eat well. Get your email in order because Lord knows my email was not in order.
Hot mess.
I did all that today, folded some laundry, finished editing a video. Can't stop me. And now here we are recording. This is the last to do thing on my list. And we're on top of it.
Amazing. I'm pumped for today's and I'm excited just to be here recording and talking with you all because if you're listening to this, you're a part of the UA fam. So welcome.
Welcome.
Do you want to start with your tearing it up?
I would love to. But first of all, I want to say our Enneagram episode is coming.
Yes.
It's coming up. So this is your last chance.
Everyone's like, you've been saying that for months.
We have forewarned and we have continued to warn you guys that it was coming. It is on its way. So this is your last chance. If you have dug into the Enneagram like we've asked you guys to and found it interesting and have a story pertaining to it or just want to know more about your number and like what to do in life as a like whatever your number is, write us in, please. It would be so much fun and we're very excited for it. So that being said, also, one more housekeeping thing. This is for our dedicated family, our UA fam. We are talking to you guys. You guys blew Taryn and I away.
Yes.
With how much you supported us in our first ever merchandise experience. You guys might you guys might remember we launched our very first ever merchandise. Taryn and I have never done merch, even individually, like never before. We launched it in November and it was unreal. You guys were amazing. We absolutely loved the full experience. You know, we're in the talks of possibly doing it again.
Yes.
There was a little bit of a mishap, which as all good things come with stuff like this when you're learning for the first time. And a lot of you guys weren't able to purchase the merchandise because it wasn't international. That was an intentional thing because low key, Taryn and I didn't think that anyone would care as much as you guys did. So we had it only for US and then we ended up expanding it to Europe because of how many of you guys wrote in from Europe saying that you wanted to purchase it. So Taryn and I are going to do a little bit of a test. We just want to see how many of you listeners are international listeners, not based in Europe. We're going to have a poll on our Instagram story. So if you're listening to this now, stop what you're doing. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us at Unsolicited Advice Pod.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll
confirm
now
while
I'm
you keep talking.
Now I'm panicking. I don't know. Follow us on Instagram at Unsolicited Advice Pod. Go to our story section and click your answer. If that is you, I want you to let us know because we need to confirm that there are enough of you guys out there to do this international. And Taryn and I, all we want is for all of you guys to be able to do this. So please do this for us so that we can do this for you. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense.
Love that. So stop what you're doing. Go to our Instagram, take the poll, then come back because we'll miss you.
Yeah. Unless you're driving, wait till you get home, you nut.
Don't pull and drive.
Don't pull and drive.
Anyways, Taryn, do you want to explain what a Turn It Up is?
Yes. Tearing It Up is a organic segment that morphed into basically the moments in life that have you saying, what the crap just happened?
WTF?
Anything that you were like, this is embarrassing. This was crazy.
What the
this
fork?
This is our space that we share it.
We love funny stories, and you guys have a lot of them. So thank God for that. This one is titled A Wave Between the Legs.
Oh, it's a pee-pee one.
And let's go ahead and get into it. Hello, Taryn and Ash. She called me Ash.
You guys
are picking up on the Ash thing. Just warms my heart. Okay. My name is Laura and I absolutely love your podcast. I've been here since day one and the dad jokes are my absolute favorite. Today, I have a Tearing It Up for you too. This story happened last summer on a camping vacation with my family.
Okay.
We were camping on island. I'm going for it. Var.
Okay.
It's Hvar in Croatia.
Sure.
I'm going to just Var.
Yeah, sure. Just Var.
She continues, and each year there's a day when huge waves come onto our place. During this time, it is quite dangerous to swim, but we always do it anyways.
Oof.
One time I went into the water and was enjoying myself until ... A wave kicked me to the floor, rotated me like a washing machine, and finally let me go. I lay on the ground for a second, wondering whether up is down, down is up. I'm all confused. My eyes are kept shut. I try to stand up and kick into something. That makes it even more confusing about the space around me. I finally open my eyes, look up and see ... someone's crotch.
What?
I look to my right and see a leg. Then a voice from the upward side says, excuse me, would you mind moving? And it is then that I realized the wave had thrown me right in between the legs of an older man.
Oh my God.
So the guy's just standing there and she just like right in between his legs.
Honey.
Oh, it's so good. She writes, I was so embarrassed. I even knocked him in the balls with my head as I was frantically trying to get out of his way. I ran out of the water and past my father, who was laughing at me hysterically. Now I am over that accident, but reliving it while I'm writing this just made me laugh. I hope you two laughed too. And please excuse me for any grammar mistakes. English is not my first language since I am from Slovenia.
I feel like you nailed it.
Hope you enjoyed my story. Love, Laura.
Oh.
She put Laura, Lara. Do you think it's Laura?
Laura?
Maybe I said it wrong this whole time.
I don't know.
Either way.
Great story.
Grammar was great.
Also, like, that guy sounds kind of like a turd. Like, she's on the floor struggling for life and you're going to say, can you move?
I know. I was like,
take a step back, bro.
I was like, did you not witness everything that she just did? Move. You move. All he has to do is step to the side.
Take a step. She has to like crawl out.
Also, possible creep. Because if you're standing there and a young girl literally gets thrown in between your legs, do you continue to stand there and then tell her, once she's composed, tell her to move?
No, you help her up or you move out of the way.
Yeah, you move out of the way so it's not a compromising position, right?
He sounds like a turd.
Creeper.
You handled yourself like a gem. Also, I have been thrown by a wave before and it is very disorienting.
Disorienting.
I struggled on that word.
Washing machine was a great way to explain it.
Yeah. Like, I don't know which way to swim. Do I brace for like coral?
Especially deeper if there's no like sand and you can't feel anything. You don't know which way to swim. It's scary. So scary.
It's game over. So recently I had a friend from another country telling me about shows and then I went to go look them up and I was like, wait, I don't see anything. And I never like made that connect that other countries have like their own stuff.
Yeah.
I think because we live in California, like Hollywood, it's like, oh, everything is just...
It's all the same.
Yeah, it's all accessible. So when I learned that there's ways that you can basically trick the internet to thinking you are in those countries, I was like, hi. And that is where enter ExpressVPN.
Guys, ExpressVPN has over 90 countries to choose from. So every time I run out of stuff to watch or Taryn runs out of stuff to watch, we both just kind of like hop on to our Netflix and kind of change which country it thinks we're in.
Slide.
And then all of a sudden, all these shows are available. Currently, Taryn and I are watching The British Office. We're big fans of The Office. It's been taken away from our Netflix. So this is kind of like taking place of that. And it's working. It's working out great. ExpressVPN is also super fast and works on your phone, laptop, even your smart TV. So you can watch your shows on the big screen with zero buffering.
So be smart, stop paying full price for streaming services and only getting access to a fraction of their content. Get your money's worth at expressvpn.com/advice. Don't forget to use our link so you can get 3 extra months for free. That's expressvpn.com/advice. Go to expressvpn.com/advice to learn more. So I feel like part of like getting older and, adulting is you start to learn that all those things that you just never questioned growing up are actually like harmful and unhealthy.
Yes.
Like I remember the first time I started learning like certain tampons or things like were not good for you. And I was like, nobody told me this.
Oh, and then once you find out, my biggest fear is just forgetting about a tampon. Just forgetting about it and it being in there for months.
Yes. And I feel like society's getting so much better with just being positive about periods. Like it's such a natural, like normal thing and we shouldn't be ashamed to talk about it. And I feel like with that have come the birth of so many companies that are doing amazing things like Flex.
Flex is innovating period care with products that are body safe, made for comfort, and made to keep you moving. Guys, I just got for the very first time my very first reusable Flex cup, and I have never tried one before. I will say there was a bit of a learning curve, but once I got it in there perfectly, I was good to go and I loved it and it was wonderful. And I didn't have to worry about packing tampons with me or leaving it in too long. The cleanup process was easy and it ended up going really smooth. And it was my very first time, so I was very proud of myself. But if you don't want to use a reusable cup, Flex also has the one-time use menstrual disc that fits perfectly inside your body. One Flex disc can be worn for up to 12 hours and holds as much flow as 3 super tampons. Guys, that is a lot. If you end up going the reusable cup route, your Flex cup is 100% reusable and lasts for years. That means no more tampon purchasing. Plus, it's completely body safe and non-toxic.
So say goodbye to leaks, mess, and stress and say hello to healthier periods for people and the planet with Flex. Go to flexfits.com/advice and use code advice for 20% off Flex disc starter kits or 10% off your first Flex cup plus free US shipping. That's code advice at flex, F-L-E-X, fits.com/advice. Okay, shall I get into mine?
Sure.
Okay. This one is called My Boss Tried to Screw Me Over During a Pandemic.
No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Don't they always?
Don't they always?
Just kidding.
All right. Hey, Taryn and Ashley. I have been a listener from the beginning, and you two make doing mundane tasks like doing laundry and cleaning fun. This podcast is the only reason why I look forward to Mondays.
House chores are one of the absolute best times to listen to a podcast. You get so productive.
See, my prime time is driving.
Yes.
But I commute a lot, so that's my like prime time. But Ash, like, without fail, when she's cleaning, she has her headphones on and a very like serious expression because you're like deep in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She said, I also am an Enneagram 6.
Hello.
Do you want to give a 10-second recap?
Love to. Hold on. Yes, if you haven't learned much about the Enneagram number 6, 6s are called the loyalists. They are the most devoted. They are the most protective, and they are very hard to get on your side. So they will judge you from right to left, up and down until they fully trust you. But once you've gained their trust, they'll die for you.
Yeah.
So they tend to be very skeptical of anyone new, of people for, like, why are you here? Do you have ulterior motives? Like, they're that type of person to always go to worst case. But they're also the best type of person to have in an emergency or some kind of scary situation, because they have fully thought through that worst case and they know what to do. So they're very complex, but they are also amazing.
Yes. So our writer is a 6, which I just love. Like, I hope that continues even after our Enneagram episode, because I feel like it just gives us such an insight into like the people who wrote in, you know, that they like label it. Anyways, so let me tell you how my boss tried to screw me over during a pandemic. It was 2019 and I landed an internship at my dream company for 2020. I was so excited to start building a career in my field. Come 2020 and I start working. It is very stressful, but I'm learning so much. Then COVID hits. My country was going into a lockdown for a few weeks and clients were pulling out of contracts, which means the company wasn't going to be making money, which means that the interns were let go. I completely understood the situation. Or kinda. We haven't been in a pandemic before, but I understood the business side of things and I left on good terms with everyone. Fast forward 3 months later, and I got a text from my ex-boss saying that the company had received some funding and she needs to put the money into my bank account, but I need to pay it back to her. Okay. This seemed very Dodge, but I am a trusting person, so I stupidly did it. A few days later, the other intern texted me saying that this money was actually money from a funding initiative that our government did to help people who were let go because of the lockdown. So it actually belonged to us. I was shocked that she would try to steal money from some interns during a pandemic.
Wow.
I am so fortunate that my parents helped me out financially, so I did not really need the money, but it is the principle that counts. What if
1,000%.
I or another intern really did need the money? My ex-boss has no idea about our financial situations. I asked my dad for advice because dads know everything, and he said that I should just leave it alone. She is well known in the industry and I am a minority, so she could make things uncomfortable for me in my career one day. I took the advice but was not happy about it. A month later, she tries the same thing, asking me if she can pay me some money and then pay it back to her. But this time I can keep some of the money, aka bribe money.
Yeah.
I finally had enough and told her that this was actually illegal and that the money belongs to me. 2 days later, I received the full amount owing to me. My question is, would you have confronted her about the situation to get your money, or would you just leave it alone like my dad advised? P.S. My dad doesn't know that I confronted her and received the money. Sorry if this is so long and confusing. It wasn't. I love you guys. Love, Anonymous.
Wow.
That's nuts.
That's insane. Your
Nuts.
boss is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's
Sketchy as hell.
It's really messed up when people jump on like crisis mode. Like when people are in crisis and people take advantage of them, I feel like that's a different level of just like low. You know what I mean? It's like the guys who like look for the drunk girls to like take advantage of because they can't defend themselves. Like I feel like for her to be like, okay, this might, and straight up illegal. So for her to have the balls to be like, hey, there's this check that you need to deposit and then give back. Like that's so manipulative.
It's extremely manipulative, and she has no business with your bank information.
No, that's so bold though.
Yeah.
And I think like, I mean, I don't know how old you are, Anonymous, because I don't think you said, but I know like when I was younger, there was one job I had that was kind of a like, under the table payment type job. You know what I mean? Like when you're younger and you work for like a family friend or whatever. But I remember my boss told me, okay, like I'll pay for this many hours, like this amount of money per hour. But then if you go over, then it's less money. Like, so my overtime hours were less money than my regular pay hours.
Oof.
And I had never even thought about what overtime meant. So I was like, oh, okay. And then it wasn't until like I grew up a little bit and like got a real job that I was like, no, overtime hours, you make more
money. Yeah.
than your hourly. And I felt so just like upset and taken advantage of. So
Yeah, you were.
I bet that like this situation is so frustrating.
It's got to be so frustrating. I just think I would just want to commend you for speaking up to her, because I feel like that's a scary situation, having to confront anyone older than you or in a superior position than you is terrifying, especially when it comes to money. Like money, even me and Taryn, like talking about money, it's always like, ooh, no one wants to do it.
Yeah.
But especially when it's your boss, like someone who can dramatically affect you so much. I mean, as far as the advice, I will say I'm very aware. I feel like I am, I'm not a minority. So this does come from a more privileged place. I feel like, I would 1,000% say something. I probably wouldn't the first time. And I would have done exactly what you did and gone to my parents. My mom has guided me through so many work things where I've been like, is this normal?
Yeah.
And that's just life when you're like learning about the workplace and you're learning about like what your right is and what it isn't, and when you're supposed to submit and when you're supposed to challenge like your superiors. I probably would have done exactly what you did and gone straight to my parents and talked it through.
Yeah.
The second time I would have said something. And I'm just so proud that you did. I feel like that's like a huge strength to be able to stand up for yourself and confidently say like, that's wrong.
Yeah. And I think with any type of like work confrontation, because I don't necessarily like think I would have given you the advice your dad did. I get it, because I think like parents and especially like older generations can sometimes be like more conservative when it comes to like the workplace, because like it was very much so more like, if it doesn't matter if you're like right or wrong, like you respect your authority, like that kind of, which I still think is a very valid way to live your life. And I try to, for sure.
If they're worthy of that respect.
Yes. Girl. But I think like he's thinking more of, you're my daughter, I don't want you to get in a weird situation, so let's just avoid, because like you had said, like they like financially are helping you. So I think it would have been probably different advice if like you were like older and like on your own and like financially it would have hurt you. But I will say, I think confrontations, there is kind of a way around having a confrontation. And it's this: never underestimate the power of clarifying questions.
Ooh, that's good.
So for me, I love to play dumb because it disarms the person I'm talking to. And then it also lets me like gather as much information as I need. So if I were in this scenario, I would get the check and then I would very just nonchalant be like, oh, wait, isn't this the funding initiative check? And then I guarantee if she's like, oh, shoot, like she knows what it is, she'll be like, it's the wrong thing. Like I got confused. I thought it was for this. And then it's kind of like crisis averted. But I didn't have to confront her. She's like, I got away with a fast one, when I'm really like, girl, I freaking read your receipt like from the beginning, you know?
Caught.
But clarifying questions, even in like arguments with people, any type of situation, never underestimate the power. And you just gently go in and say it. And if the person is guilty or doing something shady, guaranteed they're going to like backpedal, you know?
My mom would always play that with car dealers.
Oh yeah.
My mom, I don't know what it is. Like if you guys could just, let me just paint a picture. She is like the cutest, the sweetest, kindest, like most talkative, like happy neighbor next door that would help you through anything. That is my mother, like the essence of my mother. But for whatever reason, these sharks at car dealerships will come and try to pull a fast one,
again,
get us
what
to
we're
buy
talking about, because she's so sweet,
but get this whole huge loan that we don't need. And my mom will just simply, same thing that Taryn just said. She'll always just be like, oh, interesting. Let me Google that. Cause I'm pretty sure like the dealership in the next city over is doing this for half the, for 0% APR or whatever. And they'd be like, oh, well, wait, like, let me, you know, and she'll just like literally talk out loud and say exactly what they're saying out loud. And then we'll all kind of hear it. And then we're all like, wait, that's dumb. Yeah. Why would we do that? And then every single time we walked out with like dirt cheap deals. Yeah. Mama Bear coming in clutch.
Yep. So hopefully this helped and gave you some inspiration for how to handle stuff in the future. Yes. But I'm glad the number one thing, you got that money, girl.
You got that money.
I'm pumped for you on that. So I feel like all of us have some words that might trigger us. When we hear credit card, we think of that one. When we hear loan, we think of that one. Those things that are attached to money that just provide so much stress. But there are things out there that can help you navigate that, you know, murky area we don't name. Such as Upstart, who is a brilliant company that helps us get our control back.
Upstart is the fast and easy way to get a personal loan to pay off your debt all online, guys. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple fixed monthly payment. Upstart finds smarter rates with trusted partners because they assess way more than just your credit score. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans from $1,000, get this guys, to $50,000. Wow. Hello.
Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/advice. That's upstart.com/advice. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/advice. So we all know the age-long battle that's taken place, which is basically having to choose between either a cheap disposable razor or a super overpriced nice razor. And let's all be real, we don't always have a budget for that. You know what I mean?
Same price as a pair of nice denim.
I know. So we are so pumped for companies like Athena Club that bridge that gap.
Guys, if you didn't already know, the Athena Club razor is expertly designed with the sharpest patented blades on the market, and it is created with shea butter and hyaluronic acid, giving you skin smooth, silk legs, silky arms, skin smoothing.
Yeah, hit him with it, Ash.
The best part of the whole thing is that the razor kit is only $9, which includes 2 5-blade razor heads, your choice of a razor handle color, which I went with blue. I think Taryn went with blue also.
I love the blue. It's like a baby blue.
It's like a powder blue, and it's very bathroom worthy.
Yes.
And the best part of the whole thing is it has this magnetic holder that Taryn and I cannot stop raving about. We've told everyone. I have held razors in my mouth while I like try to reapply the
it ain't it.
shaving cream. That's not it. It's not it. But not only are the razors amazing, it comes with this Cloud Shave Foam and Dewy Body Lotion that I went through so fast because I loved it that much. I applied it every single time I was in the shower. So yeah, guys, I think you already get it. Taryn and I are both really big fans.
So stop using razors that underdeliver and switch to Athena Club. Sign up today and you'll get 20% off your first order. Just go to athenaclub.com and use promo code ADVICE. That's ATHENACLUB.com with promo code ADVICE for 20% off. So me and Ash have always bonded on our love for jewelry. And I feel like the older you get, it's funny because like back in the day, I remember I used to just buy whatever jewelry like looked cute and I would just be like, oh, it's so cheap, like yay, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But the older I get, the more I see the importance of like quality, sustainable jewelry.
No green marks around your neck.
Right? Like just stuff that's like quality that you could like pass down to your kids someday, you know? So me and Ash were super pumped when we got the opportunity to partner with Ana Luisa.
Ana Luisa creates long-lasting pieces crafted with care from the best noble materials. They offer a 365-day warranty. Guys, again, 365-day warranty. That's crazy. To replace or refund any pieces that don't meet your expectations. Ana Luisa offset 100% of their carbon emissions, starting with the sourcing of their raw materials and all the way to the disposal of their pieces. Ana Luisa creates limited batches, which ensures the highest production standards while eliminating excessive waste. And they have fair prices, of course. Their jewelry starts at $39 with no luxury markups.
So if you guys would like to check them out, go to Ana Luisa, that's ANALUISA.com/advice to treat yourself and your loved ones with a unique gift. And you can also use our code ADVICE to get 10% off. I totally recommend them, and they are such a great brand making beautiful, sustainable jewelry. Go check them out at Ana Luisa, that's ANALUISA.com/advice. And again, use our code ADVICE to get 10% off.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get into mine. This one is titled Nepotism Nightmare.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Hey ladies, thank you so much for being you. This podcast is truly what starts my week off on the best note that it can. When I finish your new episode, I immediately just pick an old one to start listening to so it doesn't have to be over just yet. Isn't
That's
that
honestly
cute?
a huge compliment because I don't even do that with some podcasts.
I don't know if I could listen to myself talk that long.
Well, yeah.
I know you can.
No, I actually
Sharon
don't
listens to me all the time.
Oh, you. I was like, I don't like listening to myself.
She puts, I'd like to remain anonymous, but I could really use some advice, and I think you're the ones I need to hear it from.
We got you.
I work in an entry-level position in a creative job I've always dreamed of. I've moved to LA to pursue it, and although I'm worried about the future every single day, she adds in parentheses, hello, thanks COVID.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to be here. I've been with this job, minus a little 8-month time for furlough, for the past 2 years. I'm 27 years old, and I'm an Enneagram 9. Hey, Ash.
Oh.
She puts in parentheses, what up, girl? But a large portion of the pie chart also said too. So, hey, Tara.
Oh, hey.
Anyway, now into the nitty gritty. As I said, I'm in an entry-level position and am really itching to move up. I feel like it's almost my time, and I can't wait to really use and hone my skills. The biggest thing in my way is my supervisor, which Taryn and I didn't plan this, guys. We have like very similar emails here, which is
workplace
funny.
situations.
Workplace situations. He is so lazy while I'm so busy and working harder than I ever have. For example, every day he watches Netflix at work, and sometimes even out loud if he doesn't feel like looking for his headphones.
Okay.
If someone isn't in their office, he'll just sneak in and lay down or chill alone until someone finds him. He gives me all of his work, and people notice, but no one said anything. I'm too afraid to say anything because I'm 1, afraid of confrontation, and 2, still low on the ladder. I don't want to seem ungrateful, but it's starting to really get to me more and more lately. His job would be the next one for me to move into, but he doesn't have any desire or ambition to move.
I mean, shock.
I don't even want his job. I would like to skip it over entirely, but I don't know if it's possible because, and here's the real kicker, ... he's the boss's son.
Oh, no.
She puts in all caps, yup, and you can tell.
Oh, I get that.
It makes the whole Netflix thing makes so much sense now, because I was like, the audacity to do that, but he clearly feels comfortable. Yeah. I'm not saying all children that work for their parents are like this. I know some who are the hardest working ones ever. However, he is stereotypically, all caps, exactly what you'd think. His dad is the boss, so nobody can really do anything, and he knows it and takes advantage of it. He's a nice person, but a terrible worker and an even worse supervisor. Normally, I can be very patient, work hard, and hope that everything will work out. But geez, it's hitting my last nerve. Did I mention he's out this week because he, quote, doesn't feel well?
Uh-oh.
Oh my God. I feel like that's kind of different nowadays, but yes, I hear what's happening. Weird timing because he also just got a new video game console. I know what this person looks like. I know what he does. I can hear his voice. It's so funny. She adds, it's just really hitting me lately how angry and annoyed I am about it all. I have been swamped with work and he gets to, quote, work from home. Well, we all know I'm doing everything. He's done the same job for his father for the last 10 years, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So how can I skip over his position? Is what she asked. Clearly, I needed to vent, so thank you. What would you guys do if you were in my position? How would you try to move up if your boss's son is in the way? Anything would help, even if it's just a laugh. I can't wait for the dad joke, Taryn. OMG, I just realized you could go by DJ Taryn. Dad joke, Taryn. Ha ha ha. That's clever.
Oh my gosh.
You're DJ Taryn.
I just found my stage name.
I feel like she's about to change her Instagram handle, her Twitter handle.
Oh my God.
She adds, okay, well, I'll leave you on that note. At least I cracked myself up. Thanks, ladies. Love ya, Anonymous.
Oof.
Boss's son in the way.
That's
rough. Am so like, my heart hurts for you. I personally have never been in a position like this. Have you?
Well, I'm glad that she clarified, like, it's not all people.
Right.
Because I feel like I have a unique perspective to it because I've always, like, my dad was my principal. My mom was like a high admin for a company that then I went to work with. Mm-hmm. So that was not acceptable. Like, my parents were harder on us than they were other people. So we didn't have that freedom to like necessarily like take the perks of family in the business, whatever.
Yeah.
So when I see people like that, which I have, I get super frustrated because I'm like, this is a personal choice you're making to like reap whatever benefit you can.
Yeah.
And it's annoying because like, not only could I not have gotten away with that, like I wouldn't have, like, that's just not my personality.
Yeah,
you know?
It's really hard because like right off the bat, like what I want to say is I'm like, oh, well, clearly he was raised wrong and was raised that it's okay to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've met people whose parents were like the hardest working, like great parents.
Yeah.
And they were just lazy at nature.
Yeah.
like at their core, that's like something they struggled with. And that was who they were. So there really is no like answer as to like why he is this way, except that he is, and clearly has no drive or desire to change the way he's living his life. He's clearly content with it. So that's what's the problem. But I've never been in a position where I've wanted to have the position that the son or like the friend or whatever, whoever, because I've worked in places where like there was a friend or a cousin or someone who was also working, but they were never in my way per se.
Yeah. And like, I like that you said that, like, we don't know his history, but there definitely has been some level of enabling. I don't know at what level and that's my initial question would be. And again, it's hard for us to give like spot on advice when like we only have this snippet of information.
Yes, it is hard.
But I would love to know if everybody at the job knows he is the way he is. Like, have you ever tried to talk to someone above him or like tried to like mention certain things? I know like whenever I've felt like at work I'm not getting the respect or even compensation for like the level I'm doing, like I would go to the top and I would again ask those questions of, hey, so right now, when I got hired, this was my role. Like these were all my responsibilities. Right now, currently, I'm doing triple that. Yeah. So I would love to know, like, was there a change in my job or am I going to be compensated for the additional work? And then it'd be interesting to hear if they were like, wait, what? Why are you doing all that? Or if they're just like, whatever. Because then if you approach it that way and they're like, why are you doing all that work? You can be like, homeboy, what's his name? Did she give
She doesn't say his name.
I'm going to say Colin. He sounds like a Colin. Like Colin gives me all these tasks every day.
Yeah.
And most of the time I can't find him to ask for clarification.
Yeah.
So I would maybe approach it in kind of like a roundabout type way where you could innocently be like, oh, I wasn't trying to get anyone in trouble. I just was making sure that I was getting fairly compensated for the work that I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a couple things you could do here. My quiet, non-confrontational self, but also in many ways competitive self would start marking all the work with my name on it in little ways, just little ways. Like it doesn't have to be like your full name or done by, Ashley, but I would start leaving my mark on absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Filing, simple emails. Like I would add my name. Cause like,
CC the boss. Like that's always a good one.
Like you can do things to make sure that it's clear that you're involved in everything.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like a paper trail of all the work that you've been doing, along with hopefully the witnesses of all the other employees as well. And that's just something I would do to just track everything myself. And also if like shit hit the fan one day, you could be like, have you seen everything I've been doing? Yep. There it is. And there's proof. The next thing, like Taryn said, is something you said was that you're low on the totem pole still, but you mentioned that you've been there for 2 years. So maybe your position is lower than his, but you've definitely been there long enough, I think, to voice your opinion and complaints confidently. Because I would be scared if I was brand new, but 2 years, I've been there long enough to where I can go have a meeting with the boss.
Yeah.
So here's what I think you need to do. I think you need to figure out exactly how mad you are. Are we just annoyed? Is this something we can work with every single day? Is it bothering us, but not too bad? Or is this infuriating and getting in the way of your work? If it's the latter, because you've been there for 2 years and because clearly you are a hard worker and doing your job, I think you have every right to call a meeting with the big boss and say that you want fair pay. Because if you're doing all the work, in my opinion, if it were me, I'd be like, that's fine. Clearly I can handle it. Pay me more.
Yeah.
And I would just kind of like throw that at the boss in a very polite way, obviously, and say, listen, I've been doing this. I'm loving it. I feel like I'm doing it well. I feel like I'm getting into the flow of all this new work that's been coming my way. But it is not what I was hired on for. So I would love, I would love a raise to represent the work that I'm doing for the business. And I think that'll very nicely put a little package on the desk of the big man for him to be able to say, okay, something's going on here.
Yeah.
Let me deal with it.
Too, I mean, you could also just like inquiring about a higher position is not weird. Like, I think it's okay for you to go in and be like,
fully pitch yourself. Yeah.
Be like, I've been with this company for a while. My workload has honestly like tripled in the past, like whatever. And, I really would love a chance to grow. I'm looking for like, I would love this type of position, and just be specific about that. It's not the supervisor position, and just see what they say. And then I am going to give one petty piece of advice.
Do it.
If every single person that works with you has the same complaints, you could
kick them out.
Type an anonymous letter, mail from a post office, so there's not return address, straight to the boss, and very maturely just lay out the concerns you have. Obviously, that is a more like petty, shady way to deal with it, and there could be like inquiry on like who did it.
Yes, but also like the family's dynamic changes things a lot.
Yes,
it does.
And if there's HR involved, like you should be able to talk to them and be like, you could always do this too. You could always go in and say, hey, I don't want my name attached to this, but I just want you to know there is a very unhealthy work atmosphere right now, and a lot of frustration because so-and-so is doing things that people don't agree with, but people don't have the feel like they have the safety to complain about it because he is the boss's son. Mm-hmm. And then if HR does their job right, they'll look deeper into that and hopefully be there.
Which also, if you say you want to be anonymous, they have to.
Yeah, they have
legally,
to.
They can't share anything. So,
but I mean, so there's options of ways you can like tiptoe around it or just be upfront. But either way, I think
only you can decide.
Yeah,
which
and
is
like Ash
best
said, you got to figure out like like if you're miserable, then honestly, maybe ruffling some feathers, and then if that means you move to a different job, like maybe that's what it was meant to be, you know? So I think just like weigh everything out. Obviously, like, I don't know, talk to people in your life that know at all the situations and can ask questions back. And then good luck.
Also, power in numbers. Like Taryn said, if all these people are witnessing all of this and witnessing you, but just don't feel safe saying anything, what you could do is you could go to the boss yourself, but also beforehand talk to the fellow employees and be like, hey, I'm going to complain. And I would love to know if like I can use your name as like a witness or someone that the boss can also meet with and confirm everything that I have to say. You know what I mean? Because you saying one thing says a lot, but 5 employees backing you up, that's a whole different story.
No, for
and
sure.
also Netflix at work. Come on. I mean, that's not just being lazy. That is like lazy at the most confident, ballsy position.
That's why I'm like, does the dad not like, is the dad in the same offices and he just doesn't
Probably
care?
not.
Or if like,
maybe the dad like
don't know.
moves around to different locations a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And the son's supervising the like, I don't know, LA location or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you definitely should just like
fight the good fight.
Yeah. Dip your toe
It's
and
time.
see where it.
Also, you've spent 2 years there. I don't want you wasting any more time there if this is not the right place for you. Sometimes you got to shake it up and try new things. But either way, Anonymous, stoked for you.
Yes.
Stick it to the man. Do what you got to do. Get your team rallied around you and get your money. I'm very excited for you. If you do any of the things we just said, please give us an update email because I want to know exactly what went
Seriously.
down.
But also,
if he gets fired.
With all of our advice, it ultimately is your choice if you follow it. And if bad things happen, don't.
Taryn and I did not force you to quit your job.
No. I just want
to throw that out there.
Just want to throw that we should probably start saying it
we should
at the
probably
beginning
clarify
of
everything. Yes. Taryn, want to wrap it up with a dad joke?
I would love to. Oh my gosh, this is a good one. Okay. Did you hear about the circus fire?
Circus fire? No.
It was intense.
Oh my. That's a good one. Wait, that's a good one.
I know.
DJ Taryn.
Thank you.
That was great.
Thanks.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you're at the end of this episode, we love you the most. Don't tell everybody else. It's our favorite ASMR. We will talk to you guys in the next episode, which will be coming every Monday. As you guys know, again, don't forget to go to our Instagram, take the poll, be a part of the poll. We need you to do your part so that we can do our part for you. You got it? Got it. Cool.
Valid.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
So I feel like all of us have some words that might trigger us. When we hear credit card, we think of that one. When we hear loan, we think of that one. Those things that are attached to money that just provide so much stress. But there are things out there that can help you navigate that, murky area we don't name. Such as Upstart, who is a brilliant company that helps us get our control back.
Upstart is the fast and easy way to get a personal loan to pay off your debt all online, guys. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple fixed monthly payment. Upstart finds smarter rates with trusted partners because they assess way more than just your credit score. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans from $1,000 get this, guys, to $50,000.
Wow.
Hello.
Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/advice. That's upstart.com/advice. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/advice.